Yeah, this has been an amazing discussion that it was originally just kind of titled as random or miscellaneous. And I feel like we've had some very substantial topics get brought up for discussion. So I'm actually really grateful that I asked these random questions. I would like to move on to discuss demographics that are primed for liberty, just political freedom, civil freedom, economic freedom, any individual type of freedom or overall types of freedom. So a good question to start off this discussion would be, which demographic of people do you think is most primed for liberty outside of the Libertarian Party? I could give a couple examples if that may help inspire.
I would have to think about that. Yeah, if you want an answer, I would have to think about that. I don't usually think about people in terms of classes or collectivist labels, so I would really have to kind of slow down and think through that before being able to give you an answer.
While you think about it, I was inspired to ask this question because of another anarchist, Mr. Arvind Vohra, and he says, I'm going to do my best to quote all three of them. He says there's three types of libertarians. He says there's the political libertarians that are running for office to make change. There's the individual libertarian that says, I'm going to remove myself from any sort of government structure and dismantle the state that way. And then there's the cultural libertarian that is trying to change the paradigm of our people, our citizens, to not salute or not to brag so much on the actions of our government. So I think an example of an individual libertarian could be people engaging in cryptocurrencies. People that want more competition with the Federal Reserve so that their cryptocurrencies can grow in popularity. Another example would be homeschoolers, people that are invested into educating their children and they don't want competition from a government structured school that's going to put other types of schooling out of business, like private schools. From what I recall, I think I remember reading that you were an unschooler. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit more of what that is and how the ideas of liberty appeal to homeschooling, if not any other demographics that you can think of.
Yeah, I think I now understand what you're asking. So I think if you zoom way out, what should our approach as libertarians, big or small L, whatever you want, what's our sales pitch? Our sales pitch should be something like, hey, oppressed class of person, and oppressed class could be anything from people that want to smoke a plant or people that don't want to be stolen from for rolling by a stop sign. It could be anything, like homosexual people, any group of people that has been oppressed by a structure of control. The sales pitch is, hey, oppressed class, we're on your side. We don't think you should be controlled in that way. Why don't you join us? Because we have a bunch of people over here that all agree on one thing. You should be left alone to live your life how you want to live your life. The only thing we ask, the only thing we demand in return is that you also respect other people's right to do that in their own lives. To me, that's an unbeatable sales pitch. You get everything you want. Live your life however you want. Do whatever you want with yourself. As long as it's your own body, as long as you're not violating anyone's consent. The only thing you have to give up is your desire to control others.